Food is a gateway to the past. It brings back memories of family, tradition, and simpler times. In this video, we'll explore 10 middle-class foods that defined generations in America. From the 1930s through the 1980s, these iconic dishes were more than just meals. They were part of the cultural fabric that connected families across the country. Number 1. Chicken a la king, the royal dish of the 1950s. Chicken a la king was a signature dish that rose to popularity in the 1950s, representing a perfect blend of comfort and elegance for middle-class American households. This creamy, flavorful entree consisted of diced chicken, mushrooms, and bell peppers in a rich, savory sauce made from butter, cream, and chicken broth, often thickened with flour. Traditionally served over toast, rice, or noodles, chicken a la king offered a luxurious yet practical option for home cooks. The dish's origins are debated. Some trace it to a New York chef in the early 20th century, while others believe it was created in Philadelphia. What made it a household favorite in the 1950s was its adaptability and simplicity. The rise of convenience foods like canned mushrooms and ready-to-use chicken stock allowed home cooks to easily recreate this restaurant-style meal without spending hours in the kitchen. It was perfect for both weeknight family dinners and more formal occasions, often served at dinner parties or as a comfort meal for guests. The use of leftover chicken made it economical, while its creamy sauce and vibrant vegetables elevated it beyond everyday fare. Chicken a la king became a symbol of mid-century ingenuity, where convenience and taste met sophistication, embodying the post-war boom of culinary experimentation in American homes. Number 2. Gelatin molds, the centerpiece of mid-century entertaining. Gelatin molds were more than just a quirky dish. They were the epitome of mid-century American entertaining. These colorful creations, often served at social gatherings, symbolize the rise of convenience cooking, as powdered gelatin, like Jell-O, made it easy to craft elaborate-looking dishes with minimal effort. Home cooks loved the versatility gelatin offered. Fruit, vegetables, and even seafood could be suspended in layers of brightly colored jelly. Popular flavors included lime, lemon, and strawberry, and molds often incorporated canned fruit like pineapple or maraschino cherries, adding both flavor and texture. The popularity of gelatin molds in the 1950s and 60s was also influenced by the availability of affordable refrigeration, as nearly every home had a fridge by then. The molds themselves became a statement piece at parties, with intricate shapes and vibrant hues that matched the era's fascination with bold, eye-catching presentation. While sweet gelatin molds were more common, savory versions, including those with shrimp or tuna, were also enjoyed, showcasing the adaptability of the dish. Gelatin molds became a symbol of creativity and were seen as a chic, fashionable way to elevate any dinner table, bridging the gap between simplicity and sophistication in mid-century culinary culture. Number 3. Spam, the World War II hero-turned-household staple. Spam, introduced by Hormel Foods in 1937, became an unexpected culinary hero during World War II. Its long shelf life and portability made it an ideal ration for soldiers stationed across the globe. More than 150 million pounds of Spam were shipped to Allied troops during the war, helping sustain them in harsh conditions. This exposure to Spam turned it into a household staple once the war ended, as soldiers returned home with a familiarity and fondness for the product. Spam's rise to popularity in post-war America also reflected the cultural shift towards convenience foods in the 1950s. Its affordability and versatility made it perfect for middle-class families looking to stretch their budgets. Spam could be fried, baked, or added to casseroles, providing a quick protein source for meals. It was often served with eggs for breakfast, sliced into sandwiches for lunch, or incorporated into dinner recipes. Additionally, Spam became a global phenomenon, especially in regions like Hawaii and the Pacific Islands, where its presence persisted due to wartime supply routes. Its iconic blue can and recognizable taste made it a pantry staple that defined an era of practicality and ingenuity in American cooking. Number 4. Biscuits and gravy, the classic comfort breakfast. Biscuits and gravy is a quintessential Southern dish that became a breakfast staple in American households, particularly in the working class and middle class homes during the 20th century. This hearty meal has roots in the South, where it originated as an inexpensive way to provide sustenance to laborers and farmers. The dish typically consists of soft, flaky biscuits made from flour, baking powder, butter, and milk, served with a creamy, peppery sausage gravy poured over the top. The history of biscuits and gravy can be traced back to the late 1800s, during a time when people needed to create filling meals from minimal ingredients. Biscuits were quick to make using simple, affordable ingredients, and gravy allowed home cooks to stretch a small amount of meat, particularly breakfast sausage, into something more substantial. The gravy, traditionally made from sausage drippings, flour, and milk, is cooked until thickened and seasoned generously with black pepper to create its signature rich flavor. In the 1950s, as America embraced home cooking with increased access to kitchen appliances, biscuits and gravy became a popular weekend breakfast, especially in rural and suburban households. The dish also became a fixture in diners and restaurants, where it was often served with eggs, hash browns, or even fried chicken. For many, biscuits and gravy evoke a sense of comfort and nostalgia, recalling family breakfasts or road trips through the American South, where the dish remains a beloved tradition. The dish's continued popularity today is a testament to its timeless appeal. It has evolved in some areas with variations, such as adding bacon to the gravy or using creamier sauces. But the core of the dish remains unchanged. Biscuits that are fluffy, yet crisp, paired with a thick gravy that's savory and rich. Whether served at home or in restaurants, biscuits and gravy endure as a comforting, filling breakfast that resonates with many as a taste of home. Number 5. Salisbury steak, the TV dinner star. Salisbury steak became a household name in the mid-20th century, largely due to its role as a cornerstone of the TV dinner revolution. Created by Dr. James Salisbury in the 19th century as a health-conscious alternative to fatty meats, Salisbury steak was originally intended as a way to promote digestive health. By the 1950s and 60s, the dish had taken on new life, thanks to its transformation into a quick frozen meal that fit perfectly into the busy lives of American families. The dish itself is made from ground beef, shaped into a patty that mimics a steak, often seasoned with onions, breadcrumbs, and various herbs. It's then covered with a rich brown gravy and typically paired with mashed potatoes, peas, or carrots. Its inclusion in Swanson's frozen TV dinners helped make Salisbury steak a symbol of convenience. The popularity of TV dinners surged as more families began spending time in front of their televisions, and Salisbury steak's hearty, familiar flavor became synonymous with quick, satisfying meals. Part of Salisbury steak's appeal in frozen meals was its durability. Unlike more delicate dishes, it could be frozen and reheated without losing much of its texture or flavor. The gravy added moisture and helped preserve the meat's richness, while the side dishes completed a full meal in one tray. For middle-class families of the era, Salisbury steak TV dinners represented the future of food. Quick, easy, and modern, with little time spent cooking and cleaning. Despite its humble origins, the dish became a nostalgic favorite, reminding many of childhood dinners and the early days of frozen convenience meals. Number 6. Tuna noodle casserole, a thrifty dinner solution. Tuna noodle casserole became a staple of mid-century American households, particularly during the 1950s and 60s, when it gained popularity as an economical, easy-to-make dish. At its core, the casserole was a thrifty way to combine pantry staples into a meal that could feed the whole family. The typical ingredients included canned tuna, egg noodles, a can of cream of mushroom soup, and a crunchy topping, usually crushed potato chips or breadcrumbs. These ingredients made it both budget-friendly and accessible to households across the United States. The rise of tuna noodle casserole can be attributed to several factors, including the post-war economic boom and the rise of convenience foods. Canned tuna, which became widely available and affordable after World War II, offered a cheap source of protein that could easily be stored and incorporated into various recipes. The use of condensed soups, particularly Campbell's cream of mushroom soup, became a defining element of many mid-century casseroles. These ready-to-use soups provided an instant sauce, making meal preparation even easier for busy homemakers. Tuna noodle casserole was also seen as a complete meal in one dish, combining protein, carbohydrates, and vegetables. Often, frozen peas or carrots were mixed into the casserole for added nutrition and color. Its adaptability made it a family favorite. Home cooks could easily adjust the ingredients based on what they had on hand, adding cheese or swapping out toppings for variation. The casserole was baked until bubbly and golden, making it a comforting, filling dinner that required minimal effort. What made tuna noodle casserole endure was its practicality. During times of inflation and economic downturns, it remained a go-to meal due to its low cost and ability to stretch ingredients. Today, while its popularity has faded somewhat, it still evokes nostalgia for many who grew up with its creamy, savory flavors as a weeknight dinner staple. Number 7, meatloaf with ketchup glaze, a 20th century icon. Meatloaf with ketchup glaze became an American comfort food icon during the mid-20th century, evolving into a staple of home cooking for middle-class families. This dish, rooted in frugality, allowed families to stretch a pound of ground beef with fillers like breadcrumbs, eggs, and onions, making it an economical yet hearty meal. The ketchup glaze, which sets this version apart, was a later addition that emerged as a popular way to add a tangy, sweet flavor while helping the meatloaf retain moisture during baking. The glaze, typically applied halfway through the baking process, caramelizes slightly on top, creating a rich, flavorful crust. Meatloaf itself traces its origins back to 19th century Europe, where scraps of meat were ground and combined with bread or grains to create an affordable dish. However, it was during the Great Depression and later in the post-World War II era that meatloaf became a regular feature of American kitchens. Cooks found it a versatile and budget-friendly dish that could be easily modified depending on what ingredients were available. The ketchup glaze became an American innovation during the 1940s and 1950s, when processed foods like ketchup became household staples. Its sweet and tangy taste appealed to children and adults alike, making it a family favorite. Over time, meatloaf with ketchup glaze became associated with nostalgia, representing home-cooked meals in simpler times. It was often served with classic sides like mashed potatoes and green beans, embodying the essence of a typical mid-century dinner. Today, it remains a popular dish, loved not only for its taste, but for its practicality and ability to evoke memories of family dinners from decades past. Number 8, ambrosia salad, the sweet taste of the South. Ambrosia salad is a classic Southern dessert that gained widespread popularity in the United States during the mid-20th century. Traditionally served at holidays, picnics, and family gatherings, this dish is known for its sweet, creamy, and fruity combination. The key ingredients of ambrosia salad typically include canned mandarin oranges, pineapple chunks, shredded coconut, and miniature marshmallows, all mixed together in a base of whipped cream or sour cream. Some variations also include maraschino cherries, bananas, or even pecans, adding both texture and flavor to the mix. The origins of ambrosia salad can be traced back to the late 19th century, when fruit salads were seen as a luxurious treat, particularly in the southern United States, where fresh tropical fruits were hard to come by. The name ambrosia itself, derived from Greek mythology, refers to the food of the gods, symbolizing the dish's perceived indulgence and richness. As canned fruits became more accessible in the early 20th century, ambrosia salad evolved into a more affordable and practical dish for middle-class households, especially during celebratory events. One of the appealing aspects of ambrosia salad is its simplicity and versatility. The ingredients are easy to find, and the dish requires no cooking, making it a go-to recipe for home cooks looking to whip up something special without much effort. The sweetness of the marshmallows complements the tangy citrus fruits, while the coconut adds a tropical flair, giving it a light yet indulgent taste. It was often seen as a festive, cheerful dish that could brighten up any table. Today, ambrosia salad continues to evoke nostalgia for those who grew up enjoying it at family gatherings, and it remains a popular Southern dish, particularly at Thanksgiving and Christmas. Its bright colors, rich flavors, and easy preparation keep it alive as a symbol of classic American comfort food. Number 9. Hamburger Helper, the one-pot wonder of the 1970s. Hamburger Helper, introduced by General Mills in 1971, was a game-changer for busy households in the 1970s. The concept was simple, yet revolutionary. A one-pot meal that combined ground beef with pre-packaged seasonings, dried pasta, and sauce mixes, all designed to create a complete dinner with minimal effort. This product quickly became a favorite among working families, especially those looking for affordable and time-saving meal solutions during the economic challenges of the 1970s, including inflation and rising food prices. At its core, Hamburger Helper reflected the shifting dynamics of American families. As more women entered the workforce, there was less time to spend on elaborate home-cooked meals, yet the expectation of providing nutritious dinners for the family remained. Hamburger Helper offered a quick, budget-friendly solution that could feed an entire family, often using just 1 pound of ground beef, a cheap and easily accessible protein. The product was marketed as a way to help your hamburger stretch further, making it a hit with households looking to maximize their grocery budget. The original Hamburger Helper lineup included 5 flavors: beef noodle, potato stroganoff, hash, chili tomato, and cheeseburger macaroni, the latter becoming one of the most iconic and enduring flavors. The variety of flavor profiles allowed home cooks to add their own twists, and some even used the product as a base for creative dishes by adding vegetables, different proteins, or spices to customize it to their family's preferences. In addition to its practicality, Hamburger Helper's popularity grew due to its clever marketing campaigns. The brand's mascot, the helping hand, became a familiar figure in American households, symbolizing the ease and reliability of the product. Its lasting appeal lies in its simplicity, affordability, and ability to adapt to changing family dynamics, making it a mainstay in American kitchens for decades. Number 10. Baked Alaska, the show-stopping dessert. Baked Alaska is a show-stopping dessert that combines the unlikely pairing of ice cream and fire. It consists of layers of sponge cake topped with ice cream, all covered in a thick meringue. The entire dessert is briefly baked in a hot oven, where the meringue insulates the ice cream, preventing it from melting while browning to a golden perfection. The dessert's visual appeal and theatrical flair made it a favorite for special occasions and restaurant dining during the mid-20th century. The origin of Baked Alaska dates back to the 19th century, though its exact beginnings are debated. One popular theory credits French chef Charles Ranhofer of Delmonico's restaurant in New York, who supposedly created the dish in 1867 to celebrate the United States' acquisition of Alaska from Russia. At that time, the dessert was considered a marvel of culinary engineering, as the contrasting temperatures of the frozen ice cream and the warm meringue seemed almost magical. What truly set Baked Alaska apart was the meringue, which is whipped to stiff peaks and spread over the ice cream and cake. Meringue's airy texture acts as an insulator, trapping heat and preventing the ice cream from melting when exposed to high temperatures in the oven. Some modern versions of the dessert even employ a flambé technique, where alcohol is poured over the meringue and ignited, adding another layer of drama to its presentation. Throughout the 1950s and 60s, Baked Alaska became a popular choice at upscale dinner parties and restaurants, where it was used as a celebratory dish due to its impressive appearance. Despite its complex look, Baked Alaska can be surprisingly simple to make, especially with ready-made ice cream and sponge cake. It's the meringue, paired with the precise timing of the bake, that turns this into a memorable centerpiece.